Hello, hello. Hello, Dragos. Hello, Ian. Yeah. Okay. Sirius. Hello, hello. Okay, let me move chat in a way to where I can see things a little bit better. Okay. Okay, where's my thing? I think it's this one. So gonna be listening to two different Josh streams at once. Why would you do that? I guess the drawing stream I didn't talk a lot, so you could just mute that. Cause I just, I wasn't really doing much during that one. But okay, serious. Okay. I returned the kiss, and he took it as a challenge, doubling down until we were once again in the throes of expressing how we felt for one another. While it left us exhausted and almost as messy as we ended up just before, we didn't worry about it. In that moment, it was just us. And to reinforce that, Haas held me close to him, with my hands holding him, and just as close. So who do you think topped? Right? These are questions. These are questions that I want answered. Because I could see Haas letting Dave, you know what I mean? I fell asleep with the smell of my boyfriend comforting me, if that's what I could call him. It was a comfort either way, and at least for the time being, I was happy. Okay. Do I even remember day 20? I don't know. We'll see. Oh. Oh, right. This had the what's the dream thingy. Yeah. Dave? Okay. Dude, calm down. It's not even you drawing the cards. It's Dave. Okay, let's keep... Yeah, this is gonna be real confusing if you haven't played these, just because I'm skipping around. Dave, we shared a bed. You're fluffy and warm. Combined with this mane, I was overheating. Been awake for a while, as it is just watching you sleep. As it is just, okay. Okay. We're friends, Dave, but we're also dating, maybe. What did you want to call it? Oh, because I didn't raise the thing high enough, maybe? I don't know, in like the original Haas route I did? I don't know. I don't know at all, so we'll... Okay. Benson appeared after a while, quietly walking towards the kitchen, as if the rest of us weren't here. He looked like death, okay. Disheveled and ungroomed. If I had to guess, he hadn't slept at all. It's almost like his boss is dead or something. Dave, I think you could have phrased that better. A lot of it, really. Why, what was the thing? Oh, is this like some confessions? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Dave, just spit it out. We need the rest, yeah. Oh, Dave? Yeah? How do you know it's one of them? Okay, yeah. No, the rat, you know. The one that Dave was with in the kitchen. Wait, is that its name? Who would name a rat after something like that? But it's not a rat, is it? Dave just said it was robotic. Okay. Is he really? It seems nice enough. He's kind of a jerk. No! Thanatos is cute. He's not a jerk. He's good. He's good.
He's a rat, Dean. He shouldn't be in the kitchen.
Oi, I go where I want. Okay. Oh, what's your favorite, this one's one of my favorite, rat Thanatos portraits. I don't know. It is cute. It is real cute. Oh wait, this one's also real cute. He's like one of the best characters. You know, I've been wondering exactly how it works, like specifics.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard the term morphic resonance before?
It was a long time ago. It was so long ago, but I had heard the term before, almost 2 weeks ago. If it wasn't because of the prideful smile of the boar telling me about it, I probably wouldn't have remembered. Survival instinct?
Ah, so you're at least familiar on a surface level.
Roswell, for those of us who are completely lost, mind filling us in?
Right. I'll keep it short because I'm sure we don't need a lesson this early in the morning. Consider it like the idea that you can call upon genetic memory to warn you of danger, like how you inherently know fire is dangerous, and things like that.
Really? That simple? I guess that makes sense. So it's just like stuff we inherit?
Yes, and probably not how you're thinking. We're talking multi-dimensional in this regard.
So Thanatos can make us remember stuff?
Okay. If he's telling the truth, yes, everything Dave has seen so far would just be a past memory for him. Okay.
Well, yeah, cause the person that would be giving him orders otherwise is dead, right?
You mean the guy that owns the place?
Right.
But he'll need to be taking orders from someone. An AI with free will with an AI with true free will it's unheard of, isn't it?
Maybe I'm just special like that. Maybe I just don't think you need to know who I listen to.
Okay.
Rules me out. I don't have the cash and barely get how this all works. Dave can back me up on that.
Okay.
He's the only one that almost drove me nuts. Dave, under my bed, remember? Not quite what I'm getting at. But I just don't know why. Sal said it was that the timing just seems strange. How long have you been in contact with the rat, Dave? That's a good question. I don't know if this is something I need to ask, but were you around when Dave went into the woods by himself?
Yeah, why?
Okay. But that's so young.
Okay. Oh, right, this whole conversation. It is, but there was no sense in lying to me. It's a relief knowing that what's going to happen, but it sure does suck that I don't have much time left. Whatever, you're getting a sequel game. Probably. Roswell slumped in his chair and looked over to me, noticing that between Thanatos and I, the three of us were the only ones left. That could have gone better.
It went as it was supposed to. It went as it was supposed to, okay. Reading is hard.
You think so?
Worked well the last time it played out this way. Not that it makes it easier.
It really doesn't. He was wearing a smile, but from the twitching of his nose, it seemed as though he was holding back from crying.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I didn't expect everyone to walk out. But I guess we all deal with this stuff, this kind of stuff in our own way. Was Oswin in the scene originally?
Huh. Anything I can do, or?
No thanks. I don't want to spend time. Wait, I just want to spend some time alone for a bit. Recompose myself, and I'll be right by. I'll be right by lunch, I think. I'll see you later. He was out of his chair fairly quick and flashed me another smile before wandering away. I went to follow, but found Thanatos staring at me expectantly, shaking his head. So, spending some time with Thanatos. He seemed shell-shocked, eyes sunken and slightly bloodshot. Benson, no. Hey, Benson. I took a few moments before he looked over at me, but said nothing as he returned his attention to the drink in front of him. Thanatos was perched on my shoulder, a handful of my fur in his fist, to keep himself steady. He, too, said nothing even as I approached him slowly. Dave. Sitting down on another spot next to him, I stayed quiet as Thanatos disembarked onto the counter and started looking around. For what I didn't know, given my attention was on the state Benson was in. Are you okay?
I don't know, my boy. My body feels weak. My mind is a haze of nightmares. I feel so addled.
Lack of sleep?
Indeed.
I glanced a look over at Thanatos, who seemed to play our exchange no mind.
I know why you're here, Dave. I know.
You do?
It does not take a master sleuth to piece together what you might want from me after a tense conversation with your friends.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Let's just get this over with, and hopefully you can make some use of it.
I put a hand on his arm, and he flinched. It was delayed, but it was a flinch all the same. And then after, maybe you should take a nap. You look,
You could say exhausted.
I'm just worried.
I'll be fine, Dave.
The three of us headed back into the dining room, and I dropped Thanatos back onto the table as I looked around, wondering how best to start. So Junior here wants to know what he can figure out from your death. Essentially. But if you're not up for it, we can,
It's fine. What do we know?
Oh, okay.
Pay him no mind, Dave.
Okay.
Forgive me. I'm not apologizing for anything. Even so, I cannot tell you who I believe it to be.
And why's that?
Oswin told me not to.
Terrible. Terrible. Ah, Chaisu, hello. What?
Do you remember the will that I showed you?
The one where you burned the second page?
That's the one. Against my better judgment, I was told to protect someone specific. Someone he suspected of being the one behind his death.
But why would he do that? That makes no sense. Benson regarded me briefly before shaking his head.
I'm afraid that answer died with him, Dave.
Oh, okay. So Oswin figured it out.
I would assume so, yes. But certainly in these times, it's assured.
I'm in class, so I can't stay long. What? But get that B ending, since I'm too lazy. Jace! Jace! Come on! Pay attention, school's important. At least that's what I hear.
Okay. No, take a break. I know Benson needs one.
I looked towards Benson, and it was true. He was out of it again, trembling on the spot. Okay, fine.
I knew you'd see it my way. We can talk more later, if I feel like it.
No, Thanatos, just stay with me the entire game. Come on. He waved enforceably into the conversation by dashing towards the foyer. Before long, he was out of sight, leaving Benson and I alone.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Huh? Oh yeah, Big Dog and Top Cat, just like, hanging out, doing things. Very oaty. Oatmeal. I haven't had oatmeal in like a decade, probably. I sometimes get like granola bars. I've never purchased granola bars myself, but for some reason I sometimes just come into possession of them. It's a little weird, but Awfully defeatist of you, Dave, but you've got a point. Yeah, sure. You stayed for some anime. You staying for some anime, Dave? That depends on the anime. There we go. There we go. Now my dog is demanding oatmeal. Well, give the dog some oatmeal. Come on. Isn't oatmeal healthy? Wouldn't the dogs appreciate the oatmeal? Or is that one of those weird things that can kill a dog? I don't know. I don't know things. No more secrets from the group, Dave. No, that's what you think. I believe that is the correct phrasing. All things considered, anyway. Of those at the table, though, you're the only one who readily promised what he was asking Dave. Okay. So he's unaccounted for, then. Should we go looking for him? No. Then I'm with Dave. We should go find him. All right. Okay, but where are we doing? He wandered over to Dean and kicked him lightly in the shin. Wait, who? Thanatos? Wait, what? So Thanatos hobbles over and kicks Dean? That sounds adorable. Am I getting that right? Dean reaches down to pick him up. Come on, I'll lead the way. Once he was off the floor, he scrambled up Dean's arm and took the spot on his shoulder. From on top of Dean? But of course. But it's not great either. Oh, okay. Grain's not good for dog? Okay. Pulling Dean along by the ear, he directed us towards the back door, and from there outside. Well, over to the entrance into the maze, a few of us looked at each other before looking at Thanatos. He's in here. Watched him go in myself. To the middle? Without waiting for a reply, he tugged on Dean's ear again and started to push him forward with the rest of us in tow. Soon enough, we stepped into the center of the maze, spotting Roswell sitting nearby, looking up to see us confused. What's going on? Did something happen? We wanted to see if you were okay. Breakfast wasn't our best showing, but yeah, what Orlando said. I'm fine? Orlando stepped forward and took Roswell's hand in his, the corners of his mouth quivering. I'm so sorry I ran out at breakfast. It's really happening, isn't it? Roswell nodded slowly, and Orlando wailed quietly in response. And you're out here by yourself? I just wanted some time to myself is all. To just think, I guess. That's all. Aside from thinking, how are you feeling? Fine. I mean, my body hurts sometimes, but it comes and goes in waves. Right now, it's, fine though, yeah. Not that there's anything that can be done to really help, outside of maybe taking paracetamol. Nailed it. And that's, there's not really, medicine for what I have, remember? Ty was lingering at the edge of the group, just watching. He's made his views on this whole thing clear enough already, but shot me a thumbs up when I started to approach. I'm sorry too.
I should not have left when I did.
It's alright. Everyone's reactions were understandable, if a bit shocking.
Why ask us to help? Why ask us to promise that, though?
Ty's just standing there. Oh, hello, Billy. Wait. Paracetamol? Ah, hello, Selkie. Has Haas been shot? Well, if not soon, I'll do it myself. Peace of mind. Who knows when the vacation is going to take another vicious turn, and I figured that if something was to go wrong, I'd rather, maximize the life of the group as a whole. I imagine that if someone were to save themselves from me, I'd be pretty guilty considering.
Well, shucks, that's pretty grim. But that's the worst case scenario. If we're careful, it might not be something we need to worry about.
Exactly. As I said, it was more of peace of mind thing. But also very important, all things considered. I don't know when it's going to happen, but if it happens while everyone is still together on the mountain,
we should be prepared for that. This whole thing is very ugly, but I understand. Roswell, against my better judgment, I'll make the promise you requested for us. But only if there's no other way.
Then, that's all I ask.
If we stick to that then, yeah, I'll make the promise too.
I look across to Haas and Orlando again, noticing that in the time Roswell had been talking to Dean and Sal, they'd been whispering hurriedly between one another.
I don't think I'll be ready to promise that for a bit, but we're friends. Friends support each other. And with that in mind, we're going back inside. No more hanging out by yourself.
Awfully bold of you to assume I want to go inside. We'll drag you. You're the smallest one here.
What if I was to induct Tyson? What?
Oh.
Right. A poor guy has no idea what's coming, but I reckon it's going to be a great time to do it, right?
Who's going to be running the initiation?
No, not me, please.
Tyson stomped over and grabbed Haas, dragging him away to try and figure out what he was talking about, but only getting a smug grin in kind.
What made you come out here, anyway?
Oh, I just figured I'd find somewhere that was quiet for me to think. With anyone, so wait. I skipped a line, didn't it? Yes. With everyone else seemingly troubled, I didn't want to accidentally run into anyone, so I picked somewhere that was unlikely someone would go to.
Because they'd get lost?
Something like that. I'm honestly surprised that you were able to make it here with no issue.
Thanatos led the way.
That'd do it.
I hate to ask, but what's going to happen now? Did you want to stay here a bit, or did you want to come inside? We can probably lead you out if you need it.
I'll be fine getting out on my own, although it seems like the plan is to head inside and torment Tyson. Now, why would we do that?
Hey, I heard that!
Well, shall we? I can take Thanatos if you don't want to carry him anymore.
No, sure. If he wants to go, at least.
Without waiting, he leapt from Dean to me, his weight knocking me off balance and tumbling backwards into the hedge. How heavy is this rat? Or is Dave just that weak? Oi! Sorry.
You okay?
Flashing Orlando a thumbs up, I dusted myself off and could feel Thanatos grip my fur that little bit tighter. Ready when you guys are. Together we headed back to the mansion, although Tyson and Haas brought up the rear, still on the topic of figuring out what this initiation was. It wasn't anything serious,
Just some high school thing involving anime, but including Tyson made me happier somehow. I think for the most part, it was it was his panicked reaction, trying to piece together what Haas was getting him into. We all came back in through the back door, with Haas leading the way forward upstairs and taking some of the others with him. Orlando took Roswell into the kitchen, and I overheard him saying they'd get some snacks and meet everyone upstairs. When we got there, Sal took the initiative to start grabbing beanbags and positioning them near the screen, having clued into what was going to happen. Dean followed suit, and they dropped into seats next to each other to chat.
Hey, Dave, tell Haas to stop being a brat.
Why?
He's not telling me what this is all about. Hey, big dog, like your brother is going to help you here. He better.
Reaching out, he roughly grabs me in a headlock, causing Thanatos to leap from my shoulder onto a nearby table.
Hey, quit it! Sorry that you're taking one for the team, Dave.
Orlando and Roswell showed up at that point, and with arms full of snacks, and Tyson took that as a good enough time to rejoin them. Haas flashed me a wink and followed after, leaving me to look down at Thanatos. I gestured towards the group for him. For if he wanted to join, but he was already on his way, scurrying off and out of sight. I followed after, and dropping into a beanbag and watching as Haas pulled Tyson in front of the screen to stand next to him. Oh god, where was I? Oh wait, I can skip this. Okay. I should probably get a drink. Wait. Oh, I do have a bottle of water under the desk. Oh, good, good. Lit. Emergency water. Okay.
He can't afford it. He can't be offended. You have Dave. You also have Dave. Do I have Dave too? No, you have Dean, alright? Dave, you ask him. He won't say no to you. He means awful fun, don't you, Dave?
Sure. Oh, but Dean's not on screen for his line? Okay.
Hey, Dave, pass the chips!
Okay.
Now that Dean's gone, may as well tell everyone else as to what's going on between Dave and myself.
I've drunk so much water yesterday, and I hate it right now. I don't know. I like water. Water is good. Like, I prefer a flavored beverage because I'm a child, but water's still good. I'd rather have water than certain other beverages. Because I don't like all flavors. I just like the flavors I already like. Where's the thing? I always take showers. Okay. Look how cute he is. Look how cute this lad is. He's like arguably the bestest of boys, right? Like David, 10 out of 10.
Someone will have to see if Benson can help us out as well. And not to mention that to find Thanatos unless someone has seen either of them this morning.
When I came downstairs, there wasn't anyone here. First people I saw was everyone when you all arrived.
We all kind of reached the stairs at the same time, so unless either of them paid someone a visit.
What? I knew this guy at work who was like 40. Hated drinking water? What? Okay. Okay. Okay, sure. He was 40 and hated water? What
What a weirdo. Usually I think, like, most old people I meet, I'm counting 40 as old. Like, usually prefer water over, like, anything else. I don't know. That's just the old people I've met in my life. And no one spoke up, sharing confusion and questioning glances before resigning the fact no one had seen either of them. Alright, should we split up into groups then? Okay, let's... I need to make sure that he doesn't go playing with guns today. That's all. What? Wait, what's this conversation about? Making sure Benson behaves himself. Okay, okay. Are we in danger? When aren't you? You were in danger the moment you showed up on the mountain. Well, maybe not you, but I'll count it anyway. Okay. Ah. What group do we pick? Did this matter? I don't remember. Wait, the museum group was like Dean, Sal, right? It was like those. Who was in the kitchen? Was it like Haas and... Huh. He asked me once to guess his age. It was obvious. It was not looking good for his age. Oh no. Oh no, the poor lad. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter the order that we do this in. So I'll just click kitchen. Oh, I thought Dean was with the other group. Oh well. Absolutely. We're a long ways off that, but it's nice to know it's there. Okay. So you came to talk? With a Hammond, yeah. Any Hammond. Goals took 20 years. Wait. Goals still look 20 years older than you, right? Oh, Vinny, hello! Cute art style. Kind of looks like yours, does it? Wait, Vinny, have you not played Password? This one's one of my favorites. It's cute. Benson's question was answered with a shrug, and he rubbed the bridge of his nose. As professional as he seemed, I could still see the tiredness in his face. My mind immediately thought to Thanatos, saying he was going to stop Benson playing with guns, but he had one on him. Never seen it before? Ah. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. Looking over to Haas, I noticed he was keeping his distance, lingering closer to Sal. The others all seemed to be on edge as well, and no one really knowing what to say or do. So long as it's one that can answer my questions. I don't care. Without missing a beat, he looked over at Haas, raising an eyebrow. Guns still have you spooked, Haas. I can't say I'm thrilled. No. Been playing Sanic all day? What is Password about? It's about a vacation you take with all of your friends. You all hang out at this mansion for the month. It's cute. It's cute. There may or may not be like a mystery plot. Ah, well, not much we can do about that now, can we? Not these days, anyway. Indeed, dangerous times we find ourselves in. Ain't that the truth? There was another lull in the conversation, with Dom sighing upon realizing that his question for a Hammond hadn't been fulfilled. I don't support lion shooting. It's okay, Vinny. You can prevent it. You can just make sure that Haas never gets shot. You know, you have that power as a gamer.
No Hammond around, or are we just not gonna find one for me?
I could see Benson tensing up and look towards me. If I didn't know better, I'd have thought that he wasn't sure what to do.
This 'cause of Jack.
The mention of his name made my fur stand on end, and I felt a chill crawl up my spine. But why? Jack is such a fun guy. I'd hang out with Jack. He seems fun. Yeah, okay.
You know about that. How? Easy. Jack and I.
He looked around the room lazily, briefly digging a finger into his ear before turning back to Haas.
We're work buddies.
Buddies? Okay. Oh, are you a furry in this one? Yeah, you play as a cute little hyena boy named Dave. My heart sank, and Orlando went to speak up, but was cut off by Benson.
If that wasn't blunt confirmation, I don't know what is. Of what? How twisted this deal you're likely to propose is. To that end, I shall not be fetching the master of the house, or any Hammond for you.
I half expected a threat to be made, but Dom just shrugged.
Fair enough.
That's it? You're just going to let that go?
I came to talk, not shoot up the place. The boss is going to do that anyhow.
When?
Depends. Mostly, what comes... Wait.
Depends mostly what comes of this talk. Benson looked uneasy again, and the rest of my friends looked a mix between scared and wary. Thanatos, by comparison, seemed like he was having a great time, even sliding off my shoulder to stand on the table.
And this deal was...
Why did no one tell me about this? I mean, I assumed that Password was popular. That, and it's the longest playthrough on my channel, probably. Wait, I don't know anymore. I think Minotaur Hotel might have more parts in total if we combine all of the different routes. But Password's actually the most popular playthrough on my channel. Even on the previous channel, it always did better than like everything else.
Not without talking to a Hammond.
But that's...
Not another word, Dave.
For me to get into it, I get it. It's long. It's a long video game. But my playthrough is only long because it has most of the routes. It's only this route that I'm streaming. Everything, like all other variations, are in the actual playthrough, like the normal uploaded playthrough. Also, how dare you replace Minnow Hotel? I'm done with the game for now. That game has been on the schedule for like nearly a year. You can't say that there isn't content.
Let the kids speak. The only way we're getting through this talk is if we're open and honest with one another.
Oh, Venny, I will warn you. The Password playthrough was the first solo playthrough I uploaded. Like, started, anyway. So it's a little rough. It's very rough at the start. Oh, God, it's... So please keep that in mind. It's not my best work. I shot Benson. An apology. Look before turning to... look before... An apologetic look before turning back to Dom. With a knife. Stop. Stop, that's not gonna be my legacy. That clip is not gonna be my legacy. Getting you a Hammond might be hard given, there isn't one here anymore.
What? It's as Dave says. I'm likely your best bet for any questions you may wish. answered in light of recent events.
What? Questions did you have? I usually have it as audiobook. Okay. No more move. I mean, it's true. It's true. He looked from Benson to Roswell, back to Benson, then settled on Roswell.
That thing downstairs exists, right? The thing the boss calls a time machine. There is one thing down there, but it's no time machine. And you know the boss is on the mountain right now, right? The assumption has been made, but it's nice to have clarification on that matter. I'll level with you. He's gonna come looking for it, and it's going to take it. He wants it, whether he's allowed to have it or not.
That guy looks like a boar at first glance. He is. The guy on the right. He's a little boar. He's a little lad. Why does he have a Steven Universe shirt? No. See, it's not just me. It's not just me. Apparently it's supposed to be a Kirby shirt, but I definitely thought it was a Steven shirt.
I believe he was told he can't have it. You and I both know that that's not going to matter one way or another. I'll tell you. I'm telling you, he's going to come and take it.
This sounds like it sounds less like a deal and more like, I don't know, a threat.
Look, I'm not fussing about getting my hands dirty. I'd just rather the easier job and have you out of the way. The audacity you've shown by showing up alone is remarkable, even so far as to stipulate this deal without offering us anything in kind.
What exactly is the deal you had in mind? What do we get out of just handing over the thing in the basement?
Your lives, for starters. Like I said, the boss doesn't mind if things get dirty. But if we don't have to clean up the bodies, it's just easier.
So it's a trade between maybe dying and probably dying.
I'll have to admit, I'd loathe to it. I have to admit it. I'm loath to believe someone of Memphis's morals to uphold any deal we strike, especially when it turns out what he's looking for doesn't exist. So no deal. Once Memphis finds out that it isn't what he wants, I imagine he's going to try seeking out someone to make what he wants happen.
And the person who would be best to do that is, dead.
You can't be serious.
It's true. So we can't really help.
Shit.
He leans forward and ran his claw over his fur on his face, trying to think it out. Given you're here now, does that mean we have some time until he comes knocking?
Was going to be tomorrow, if I return with bad news. Could maybe push it a day or two longer. Not as if we're hurting for supplies out in the woods.
A couple extra days aren't going to matter if it's going to end up in murder anyway. Especially not knowing that he's going to potentially hurt us regardless.
If we don't have to call in a favor, it works out better for us. And not as if it's the first time the boss has bribed the courts. As much as I'd like to entertain this deal, you haven't offered us anything substantial to make us, for us to make things easier for you. Our route off the mountain is regrettably not an option. Oh hey, Jack's fault for the road. Not the way we got here, but getting out could still be on the cards.
Be on the cards? Usually it's in the cards, right? There's another way back home? Where?
Now. and not going to let that slip unless we can come to an agreement. Plus, that might not be so great, depending on the boss's says.
How bad is it?
I imagine the problem comes from Memphis, then knowing where we escaped to, and setting up a trap.
So we're back to potentially being in danger versus probably being in danger?
It appears so. Best I can say is I can ask the boss and see what he thinks.
Are the odds good that he'll just let us go?
No clue. It's unlikely.
But is it worth the gamble?
All I can say is that it's the only offer on the table. Option is to see how well you go out there on your own, but with the roads out, and you not knowing another way off the mountain.
Yeah.
I need to, I need some time to think.
Benson looked broken and seemed to stare off into space, and then down to the floor as he started to shuffle away. Okay. Whoops. We can start... Skip. Okay.
And what's going to happen in 2? You all cleaned out or what?
In 2 days, you'll take one of us as collateral, just in case something goes wrong. Memphis has someone to question. I didn't like how Thanatos was now just deciding that one of us was going to be a sacrifice. Or at the very least, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, right. I think I can make that work.
But, no, this is how it must be.
Guess I'll be seeing you in 2 days then.
I looked up to Benson, and he looked so exhausted. He was wobbling. Yes, wobbling. Maybe he was ill. But before I could think of it further, he collapsed to his knee. Benson?
Dave,
He faded fast, breathing ragged. Yeah, breathing ragged before he passed out. Was it the lack of sleep? Had he just been holding things together for the sake of Dom's visit?
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's all you have to say, Thanatos? What do we do?
He needs rest for the most part, but the lack of sleep has done its job.
Wait, how much sleep has he had? How much have you stopped him having?
He hasn't had a full night's sleep in a while, between keeping watch, plus my own little games.
But why would you do that? What could you possibly get by getting Benson out of the way?
Now that he's at his limit, and we've spoken with Dom, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know.
Dave, someone's going to be taken in 2 days. Who do you think is going to go?
Orlando as a sacrifice. If I had to guess, Roswell.
Wrong.
Then who?
With Benson
God damn it, Dave, are you this stupid?
With Benson incapacitated, he's a lot more of a prime offer. More likely to fight back against Memphis too.
Wouldn't that mean he's better with us? Well rested and, and not a hostage?
I would counter asking if you'd willingly sacrifice any of your friends in favor of saving the life of an otter you barely know.
But we promised Roswell.
I have other plans for Roswell, but he's not going to be much better off.
None of us are going to be after today. Not with Benson out. Now with Benson out.
This was the price to maximize the time you could have to prepare your escape.
But like this, you started this plan how long ago just for this moment?
Are you going to be ungrateful?
He hopped down off my shoulder and wandered closer to Benson.
He sure is out like a light. Maybe he'll be a little less grumpy after he wakes.
Then he began to pat Benson down, as if looking for something. Can you imagine Little Thanatos just like rummaging through Benson's like unconscious body, just like, what's in this back pocket? Oh yeah, $20. Like, this lad. What are you looking for? This. He reaches into one of Benson's pockets and pulls out a key. What's it go to? A room that Benson keeps locked up. And now. I watch as he flashes me another quick smile before biting down hard on the key, and I heard it crack. Thanatos, wait! He bit down harder. For a moment I saw it shudder, but then the key broke into shards of metal, now completely unrecognizable as a key. What have you done? Limiting the options for variants. In no iteration thus far, where you've been allowed a full armory, does it go well? Wait, we had an armory? We could have just given Dave a gun so that he can shoot Hoss himself. All I can do was stare at the pieces of metal as I crawled closer, and then struggling to get up. I hooked Benson's arm over my shoulder to try and get him back inside. I hope for your sake you're right, Thanatos. Stumbling through the back door, I headed into one of the side rooms and awkwardly placed Benson on something more comfortable. Thanatos? But he wasn't there. He disappeared at some point, and I thought back to what he'd just done. Was the key to Benson's room really all that vital? Had he known it was there all along? Are you alright? I don't know, but Benson's out like a light. What happened? Dom said we have 2 days before he'll be back. Then after he left, Benson just passed out. Hasn't been sleeping enough. But he's sleeping now, right? Is being unconscious just different from sleeping? Are they the same thing? I'm going to assume they're basically the same thing. Cell came over and checked on Benson, nodding slowly to himself. He's out cold, but he's breathing, so that's something. But 2 days? What are we meant to do with just 2 days? I really don't know. No one else seems to know. If that's of any comfort. Worst case scenario. We at least have a bunch of guns somewhere, right? Not that we have access to them anymore. What do you mean? Thanatos broke the key to where the guns are, or Benson's room, or all he did was call it an armory, but what else could he have meant? He didn't think we'd actually need to use the swords upstairs. But a sword, it's not going to be enough, is it? In 2 days, Thanatos' plan is to give Benson over to Dom so we can escape. Beyond that, I don't know. 2 days. 2 days until things go bad again. Do we know for certain it's 2 days? According to Thanatos, yeah. We should leave Benson to rest and go talk with the others. We all need to be on the same page. Put Benson in the hot tub. He'll recover faster. Also be far more relaxed. Just, prop him up in a way so he doesn't, fall and drown. You know how it is. Has anyone else ever fallen asleep in the bath? I have before. And I'm still alive. Asleep. He passed out soon after Dom left from exhaustion. He's resting in a side room for the time being. You didn't put him in bed? His own was out of the question given, Thanatos broke the key to his room. Now why'd he go and do that? He didn't like the idea of us having access to guns. What? Wait, we can't get in without the key? That's the impression I got from Thanatos, at least. Then what the fuck are we meant to do about weapons? The swords upstairs aren't even sharp. It's worthless.
Shy of the knives in the kitchen. Do we have nothing?
Weapons are our only option. Weapons are only one problem. Food is another. Okay. I look across to Roswell, and he was scratching his chin, as if weighing things up. No, you're right. It's not worth the risk. We should escape. Really? I don't mean now, but I believe escaping when the opportunity arises is the best course of action.
The fuck do you mean when the opportunity arises? We leave now!
Ty?
We could have fucking left days ago, and avoided all this. We could have just up and left the main road and gotten help, but we didn't.
I watched Ty work himself up, and knowing why we couldn't have just left.
So we go now, right? Go get help and we're good.
I'm sorry, but that's not an option. I still would like a better explanation. Like, knowing that Dave escapes on his own during Route D, like, using the main road even, he just climbs down by himself. Like, we know it's possible. It's one of the things I wish was cleared up. I really do.
And why the fuck not?
For starters, we'd be condemning Benson to the mercy of whatever happens while he's unconscious. If they show up tomorrow, or in a few hours, the worst case scenario, he's left defenseless, and it'd be our Volt It'd be our fault he dies. Do you think that's supposed to be fault? It'd be our fault he dies. Okay. Tyson huffed, but stayed quiet while Roswell continued. From there, we have to consider who can cross the hole in the road. The hole in the road. Chances are I'd be left behind. There's every chance Orlando and Dave would be too. Mentioning me seemed to be the trick to topple Tyson. To topple Tyson, and he backed down. I could see he was frustrated, but I knew he didn't want to risk leaving me behind. But you still think we can escape? We should escape. I do.
How are we going to manage that then?
Remember, Dom said that there's another way off the mountain. If they're keen on leaving after that, after they have what they want, leaving. Chances are they. I'm spacing. I'm a little bit spacing. It's fine though. Chances are that way off should be functional. But that's assuming we know where it is, which we don't. The moment the words left my mouth, I furrowed my brow. Was this what Thanatos was getting at? Unless that's what Thanatos was getting at, trading someone off as collateral.
I'm sorry, what?
When we were outside before Dom left, Thanatos said that in 2 days he can come back and take someone as collateral. Were any names given? No, just that there's collateral. I volunteer. Thanatos said that you can't, or that he's already got someone in mind to offer up. And then who?
I can't say I'm very keen on believing anything that Rat is saying, if he's already bartering with our lives.
Ah, Born, hello! The implication was that it'd be Benson. Benson? But why him? Isn't he better used, I don't know, keeping everyone else alive? I don't know, but with him being unconscious and more than unlikely to fight Memphis, maybe that's the opening he's expecting to give us.
With him currently out like a light, there really isn't anything we can do to run it by him.
Roswell? What? Thanatos said that he was going to, that he has something in mind for you, and it didn't sound good. Well, that's, reassuring. Yeah, come on, Roswell, what's your little robot friend doing? What is he planning for the little porker?
He's gotta be lying, right? Trying to scare us? Long past the time for trying to scare us, when we have the mob shaking us down.
Tyson's comment got a few murmurs, but nothing committed as far as a response.
So what was it? 2 days until we have to go through this again. If that rat can be believed.
I don't think there's reason to doubt him. He's very much been playing some sort of game. And to that end, trying to jeopardize our lives is counterproductive. So 2 days. 2 days. Roswell shook his head. 2 days until Benson gets offered to Memphis, and we make our move to escape. 2 days to figure out where their path off the mountain is and take it. Getting clear off the mountain.
But what about Benson?
We can't do anything while he's unconscious. But if we have to offer someone up, and it can't be me. The statement hung in the air, and I could see the varying levels of discomfort it left. I'm going to check on him. Did anyone want to come with? I wandered back to where I'd left him, and noticed Sal and Hoss following behind. When we got to the room, Benson was right where we left him, with the addition of someone else. Thanatos? That's who you want hanging around you, right? The fucking rat. Okay.
What are you doing?
And checking on the otter. What are you three doing? The same.
Did you really cut a deal with Dom to hand over Benson?
So what if I did?
So you're planning on something else for Roswell?
Now, Dave, I didn't think you'd go telling them so soon.
I don't know what we should be doing right now.
I got 2 days. I got you 2 days. Do whatever you like.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
What is your expected endgame? With Benson out of the picture and is your plan. What happens to us?
For you to escape, obviously.
May I ask why?
You think I want you lot dead?
You did try killing Tyson.
That's different.
How exactly is that different? You're doing it again with Benson, aren't you?
Not exactly the same thing, is it?
You were driving Tyson mad over a couple days, and been doing the same to Benson for almost a week now? That doesn't sound like someone that wants us alive. That's for sure.
Things change.
What things?
You expecting some long, wide monologue about what I'm up to, and how that furthers whatever plan it is that I have going on.
What would be? That would be lovely, actually. Lay it on us.
I wasn't being serious.
Maybe you should be. Did you want us to trust you or not?
Like that matters to me.
Well, it's hard to really know how much of this is all something that you've been through before, and you've been. Yeah, wait. Oh, I'm losing my train. Okay, you've been through before, and you're just going through the motions again. But if we just stop playing, then what?
What do you mean?
Dave, you're not suggesting we just stop doing anything and await our demise, do you? He couldn't possibly be serious. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But if we just stop doing anything, then Thanatos is forced to act instead, right? I don't think that's a smart idea. Neither. But... just neither? But Thanatos hasn't stopped staring at you since you suggested it, Dave. I look back to Thanatos, and he was just staring as Haas said. What? That's the game you're willing to play. You're not giving us much of a way out. Much in the way of options. Threatening Benson, hinting at something bad for Roswell, now 2 days to do? Something before. Who knows what happens next? I assume Thanatos knows what happens next. Well, do you? Maybe. That's a yes. Oi, you don't know what I do, and don't do, and what I do and don't know. For all you know, I'm going through this the first time myself. Except when you said that we needed to, and that's how it needed to be, and also explained that people could have died. Fine, you got me. I know how this is going to go down. And? Last time it didn't go great, so I'm in the middle of tweaking things here and there. May I ask how? No, brother. If you know... If you knew I was planning on drugging Benson... What? What could that possibly accomplish? The less Benson is able to go commit a murder, the better. Benson committing a murder? So you're going to keep him unconscious for longer? We're not going to have another thing with someone else sleepwalking, are we? No, Benson doesn't sleepwalk, even with mismatched medication for a species. Oh, well, that's good, I suppose. What happened if we don't give him the sedation? Then he shoots the person that shows up in a couple days in an attempt to buy more time. I'm guessing that doesn't go well. Well, I wouldn't be doing it if it did now, would I? To be honest, I don't know why you do half the things you do. Have you tried talking to Benson about being trigger happy rather than just jabbing him with some sedative? Thanatos turned to me, looking thoughtful. Tell you what, why don't I let you decide, Dave? Me? Well, obviously I don't want anyone injecting with anything. That sounds awful. It didn't just sound awful. With my hands going to my neck, I knew all too well what it was like firsthand. Fine, no sedation. This time. But you'll lead the talk with him. You'll lead the talk. Okay, the talk with him when he comes to. Which is in how long? He's going to be out for the rest of the day. Well, I guess it's fine to let him sleep. He clearly needs it. What should we do about bed, though? He'll be fine here. He can decide what to do with him once he wakes up. I don't feel right just leaving him here. Then take him somewhere, either way. I have to chat with Dave. Put him in the hot tub. It'll be funny. Hoss, do you mind giving me a hand with Benson? No. But is it fine? We're just going to leave Dave with the rat? What's the rat gonna do? Is the rat gonna murder Dave? No, probably. Probably not. I assume Thanatos isn't just going to pull out a gun and shoot Dave, though I would love that. I would love that. Not exactly what we are getting at, but we'll check in later. We left the room as Sal carefully carried Benson out. The two of them headed upstairs, presumably to find a bed, while Thanatos guided me towards the basement. I had an idea as to why he'd bring me downstairs, and it becomes clear the further he led me forward. The rat knows how to use a syringe, so injecting Dave with something lethal wouldn't be hard, right? Oh no, Selkie. I was thinking Thanatos pulls out a full-size revolver. like good. I want him to just cartoonishly like reach behind himself and then pull out like a regular sized gun. That's what I want. Last time? When? Exactly was the last time? He went to reply, but stopped short, thinking about it. Maybe it didn't happen this time around. The thing in the lab is what I was talking about. If it helps, I feel fine as far as I can be. No headaches, or seeing things that aren't there. Not that I know of. And you're sure? Okay. No? Okay. The dream Dom... Wait, the dream Dom... Wait, the dream? Dom, there's a comma there. Comma, the talk. Benson collapsing, and Thanatos' plan to do something. If Sal and Haas hadn't shown up, who knows what would have happened. Okay. Dom would be back tomorrow, and if what Thanatos said was right, he'd be trading Benson off for our safety, or as a way off the mountain. There we go. We doing things. Oh, this was like the day to hang out with Thanatos, right? Lit. What were you planning on doing after you drugged Benson? Going to find something else to do. No, I mean, were you just going to leave us to deal with that? All you know is that he'd fallen unconscious, and likely a short coma. The original plan was to hand him over unconscious to save. Here, have this unconscious otter. As a peace offering. To sate Dominic's want for a little complication as possible. An easy job? Right. Then when the time would come, we'd renegotiate the deal. That's where Roswell comes in. Was she like an unconscious otter in these trying times? Oh my god. What's the currency of unconscious otters, right? Like, is an unconscious Chase worth less than an unconscious Todd? Like, is it all like, is an unconscious otter a flat rate, or does it depend on the otter? Like, these are the questions. What are you going to have Roswell do? Follow Dominic, obviously. Someone's going to need to find out where the way off the mountain is, and Benson is a much bigger prize. You're not going to notice Roswell tailing them if he can keep a low profile. And in the worst case scenario, Todd's 20 kid, Jesus, 2 cents. Terrible. Depends on the Otter's likability. Okay. So that means is Benson more than Todd on the Otter scale, right? Like, how do we shake this? Is Sydney worth imaginary money since he's fucking dead? Since he's not real, does it not count? Like... Oh. He's fated to die soon anyway. Yeah, most efficient use of the piece we have. But, Dave, there's the book you're looking for. Okay, oh, right, this little picture. Look at him. I breathe out, shaking my head. But now Oswin is dead, and wondering about that probably doesn't matter. Is there anything we can do? Sal is getting a lot of play in this route.
You know what I mean? Like, Sal and Haas seem to be, like, your companions in this. Like, they're coming up more often here than in Path A. Is this where they've been all this time? Were they, like, Path A? No, Path B. Like... I'm not a doctor, and he doesn't look good. I inch forward and suck my head around the corner. He do be sucking. I assume this is stuck. Like, like stuck his head around the corner. Wondering what they were talking about. Well, we can't leave him like that, can we? Sal looks over my way, catching my eye, but didn't say anything, instead turning to Dean. I agree, but we can't leave Roswell like that. Is Roswell dead? Did we get there? Did we kill the boy? Dave gave him a funny look, and I took that as my cue to enter the conversation. Did I hear something about Roswell? What happened? Roswell isn't feeling too great. That's an understatement. Yeah, it seems alright for a bit, but then took a turn for the worse. And we aren't doing thing. Yes. I'm getting there. The croc is cute too. Yeah, he's a whole ass bed. It's nice. And we aren't doing anything to help? Is there anything we can do? None of us are doctors. What about Benson? We can't ask him? He's still unconscious. Alive. But we can't wake him. Okay, everyone's just gonna die. Orlando's with him at the moment. So, it's not as if he's been left by himself. So, Benson or Roswell? Sorry. Orlando is with Roswell. We left Tyson with Benson. Tyson getting the better deal out of this, I'm just saying. Oh, okay. What do we do? That's what I want to know. Dean, we don't know. Look, I'm going to find out how Tyson is doing. Maybe Dave has some ideas on what's best for Roswell. No, let me hang out with Benson and Tyson. I don't want to go to Roswell and Orlando. Is there a rhino in this game? There is not a rhino in this game, Venny. I am sorry. A lot of these types of... rhinos aren't very popular, are they? Unfortunate. Dean, we don't know. Look. Oh yeah, we did that. I turned to Sal, scratching my head. How long has Roswell been out of it? I don't think I was gone for that long. We came inside for coffee, and almost knocked him over. Said something about needing to find you and almost collapsed into Dean. Are the perfect pair for hyenas? Oh no, I'll keep that in mind. Then after we grabbed Orlando, we were about to come find you. Well, I'm here now. We continued into the dining room to find Orlando rubbing Roswell's back as he sat in a chair. I'm okay. I'll be okay for now. Roswell, what happened? Is there anything we can do, or... He turned to face me briefly, but it was as the other had said. He looked out of it, out of breath, eyes dilated. Part of me wondered if he even knew I was there. I just... Hey, don't talk! You're just going to wear yourself out! Roswell started to nod quickly before he passed out then and there on the table. Hey, Roswell! Sal rushed forward and checked Roswell over. His temperature, his pulse. I love the himbo voice Josh gives the characters. What's the himbo voice? What? Which... Wait. Which voice is that? That are right. Oh, but like extracurricular has the rhino, right? Sid, but less whiny. The one voice you use for everyone, Josh. I have like 2 voices. I try. I've had no voice training in my life, so I'm trying my best.
He's breathing, but he doesn't look comfortable. He looks like he's in pain.
Wait, so does Sid not count as a himbo then? Is that not my himbo voice? Is the Orlando slash Oscar voice the himbo voice? Like, is that the himbo voice? Is that what himbos sound like? I don't know. I've never met one. Okay, what is?
Well, do something then. We can't just leave him like this.
Yes, okay. But what about tomorrow? What about your plan that you had in mind for him?
Everything's going as it should. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
I'm a little bit worried. There are so many characters that are out of commission in this route as opposed to Path A. So I am the worried. With Benson out of commission, with Benson out of commission, and now Roswell unconscious, we can burn them alive and not have to worry about these characters anymore.
Speaking of, Benson's still sleeping. This seems fine otherwise. Assuming you haven't gone and drugged him while we weren't looking.
Me? Do something like that. It does sound like something you'd do, though.
Well, I didn't. He's legitimately catching up on his sleep.
So we just see what Benson thinks when he wakes up, right?
Not if there's any other options.
Without medicine for Roswell, we're getting closer to being desperate, though. When we hit that point, what are we meant to do?
That's when you turn to me for help.
We should be listening to the rat more, I think. I think that's what it should be. That's what we should do. So when Thanatos says to murder Roswell, we can finally do that. Meaning what?
You know exactly what that means.
Okay.
Benson's out cold, and after that show Roswell had about promising us to let him die, for us, but ending up dying now, doesn't mean he's going out there, does he?
True, but... And Ty just shook his head, shifting in his chair, clearly uncomfortable with what he was thinking. The silence stretched until Tyson started to rub his head, eyes on the floor. Okay. Plus, Benson, naturally... Yes, I assume he was still asleep, given no change had been mentioned by Tyson or even Haas when I ran into them before. Okay.
What exactly was the plan for tomorrow?
What do you mean?
Benson is unconscious, so going with Dominic tomorrow is a bit out of the question.
Hello. I'm sure I nailed that name. We do it. It's all good.
Not true. What do you mean?
I'm only going to say this once, so listen up. The plan is to give Benson over to Memphis. Then someone is going to follow along and find out where the next where the exit off the mountain is.
You're crazy. Like that ever work?
Depending on who goes, it's very possible. You've seen it work before. How? When? Who goes?
What have I told you before, Dave?
Many things.
Right, well, specifically this is all variable. Hey, Sal. Yeah, yes, Hoss. We're not believing him, are we? Well, I'm not. I'll say that right now. He tries and drugs Benson. Now is just expecting us to go along with what he says, and it'll be fine. I never promised fine. Do you promise that we'll get off the mountain? I'm not promising that either. So what exactly are we meant to do? You made a deal with Dom we can't even fulfill for that. A couple extra days of worrying, what's going to happen to us? I do admit I'm a little unclear how things are going to play out. Especially given he said he had other plans for Roswell. Well, unless he planned for Roswell to fall sick suddenly, his plans are ruined too. Speaking of, where is he? We placed him in a side room to lay down. Passed out soon after we got him comfortable. You don't think that it's happening sooner than we thought it would? If it was, I imagine Thanatos would be making more of a spectacle of it. I would not! Well, that's good. Leaving us without an option of what we're meant to do, though. Well, Ty shook his head, grumbling. Yeah, I know. Dave and I were just talking it out. I should be the one to go. Why's that? Not that I'm opposed, but I have to agree. Why? I'm not about to go leave Dave on a mountain with the Mafia on the loose. So, I'm the least likely to take the exit to save myself. I don't know how I feel about the way you phrase that, but I see your point. Wouldn't it make more sense for me to go? I do a better job at navigating the forest than anyone else here. That does sound like it'd make more sense. But it'd mean you'd have to follow Dominic without being caught, and then come back without being found. That's even assuming that you found your way off the mountain. I know what's at stake. If I fail, then what? Well, don't answer that, Dave. It was rhetorical. We should both go. Ah, the two cutest lads going together. And have, twice the odds of being found? What if you get found? They were already working each other up without anyone adding to things, despite neither option being great, so I did the first thing I thought. In a flash, I fished the medal out of my pocket and noisily threw it on the table. What's that? Is that one of the medals? Yeah, I found it earlier. Figured, now would be the good time to bring it out before the fight happens. Good idea. So which one is it? No idea. Anyone? This one is Leo. A lion, huh? It's a shame it wasn't me that found it. Probably for the best, really. What is that supposed to mean? Just where I found it, that's all. Which was where? The study attached to the museum. I don't think I follow the point you're trying to make. Hold on. There's another room attached to the museum? Yeah, apparently Hoss and Roswell had found it. You didn't tell any of us? It's not that big a deal. There wasn't anything in there. Besides, it's not as if Roswell is getting the third degree about it. Roswell is also currently unconscious. Still, that's one less medal we need to find. Which is good, right? Yeah. But, that doesn't solve anything with tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. It wouldn't hurt to go through our options. So far, Tyson and Dean have both volunteered, but... If it's your dad out there, probably best that you don't run the risk, Orlando. Besides, there's that whole bright yellow thing you have going on. Isn't going to camouflage well in the forest. That's true. Which Given how fond of Sal Dad is, chances are he gets caught, he wouldn't be allowed back either. Hoss then, I bet you could run fast. Got that right.
I'm still waiting for these dumb medals to be important. Oh, watch. All of the medals are gonna be the keys to get into the vault. There you go. That's how they'll bring it all together. Maybe. I don't know. I hope it'll be just a slot that you could just slide the medals into, like a coin machine. Like a vending machine, and you just do that with the medals. That'd be funny. I'd like that.
Got that right, but I don't know how well I'll go if I see them armed. I was pretty shaken to seeing Dom with one.
They will lead to a gun that instigates Memphis, right? Or tasty snacks for the players? Now wait a minute. I'm okay with that. I want that. They should release the medals as a product for Password on like Paw Print Press, where you can get pins of all the medals. No one would be able to know it's for Password, but I think that would be funny. So, just so we're clear, I don't have to go either, right? Because of Jack? You want to go because of Jack. Imagine the sex with that man. Anyway.
Oh God, no! I don't think you were ever in the running to go out there. Not after last time.
Oh, well, good. But then who should go?
Who indeed?
He points at Dean and Tyson in turn, before looking back to me.
Seems like you have 2 prime volunteers right here. I suppose it's a plan. Guess that'll mean we have to figure out exactly how this is going down. Will Benson be unconscious, or? I would imagine he would be, but he's been unconscious for a full day already. Is he going to stay that way? Not unless we drug him, no. We're not drugging Benson, so he stays unconscious.
But why not drug him? That sounds funny. The medals are actually a password, and Dave will say, "Oh my god, a password." Just like the name of the game, oh my god. No. Stop. I don't want that. I would hate that. I would love that. What am I saying? Like, I don't know.
I can assure you that he's not going to let himself be taken so quietly.
He kills Dom?
He tries. And then what happens? They kiss. As I'm sure you can imagine, Dom returns injured, and soon after Jack and Memphis arrive. I shouldn't need to tell you how that works out for all of you. Then we don't have a choice, right?
But we can't just keep him unconscious, can we? Who knows what they'll do to him? The others seem to murmur their arguments, but Thanatos seemed unfazed.
That's the choice you have to make. Sacrifice the otter and have a chance of survival. Or don't. You have until tomorrow to come to a decision. So I'm just going to be waiting downstairs for one of you to tell me what you want to do.
I think we were all in too much shock to stop him from leaving. Occasionally we shared glances, but that was as far as we went. Orlando wandered towards the kitchen first, followed quickly by Hoss.
Shit. That's one way to put it. This can't be happening. Can't. What Thanatos just said. It's either Benson or us.
We're selling the otter. We're gonna Cooper this, right? We're selling the otter. I would rather keep Tyson safe than Benson safe. No, I felt sick. I thought about what sort of choice we were being
presented, and had to brace myself against the table. What if we just let Benson wake up and we go hide? I was wondering about that too. That's the problem with that. If Dom gets killed by Benson, then we're back to not knowing the way off the mountain. If he gets injured, I don't think he'll head towards the exit when he has allies. Unless they're holed up near where they got off the mountain to begin with.
And used for several centuries. Wait, we don't know that though. We don't know that. What would Memphis do with an unconscious otter? The world will never know.
If it's anything like how we got up the mountain, they'd be camping, right? Camping for days from the sounds of things. Which doesn't sound too likely. So it makes sense for them to use some sort of shelter, right? What about the watermill you found?
Only person I saw there was Jack, but he followed me in rather than him being there with Dom and I guess Orlando's dad.
So maybe somewhere else.
No, it's there. Go do it. Don't be dumb. It's like one of the only other structures. Go investigate.
Look, as fucked up as the situation is, it's not like we're about to go looking for the way out right now, are we? But Tyson, we can't just ignore, we can't just give Benson.
Give them Benson, okay.
Who knows what they'll do to them? Well, I know what they're going to do to us if we don't.
I looked at Dean, who seemed almost a little too calm about things, and just rubbing his chin. Dean?
If it's a choice between Benson and us, then it has to be us, right? One person potentially dying to save a handful of others, compared to everyone dying instead.
Dean!
I'm not wrong. I'm not saying I'm happy with the choice. But if it's the choice between living or dying, then...
Have a notable bulges behind the text box. What do you mean? Shush, it's fine. That's the best part. The portraits have always been like this. You can always kind of see that that Tyson is a good lad. And like we kind of, yeah, we know. We know about Dean.
Great. So we agree. I'm going to tell the rat what our decision is.
I grabbed Ty as he walked past, but I found my grip slipping without him having to fight me. He didn't look back either, disappearing into the foyer, leaving me with Dean and Sal. I think I'm going to need a minute. I dropped onto the steps near the back door and buried my face in my hands. This can't be happening. Tyson was just ready to agree to let someone die so we could live, and it seemed so fine with it. As for me, though, the guilt was already making itself known by the sickening feeling in my gut. I'm gonna try to sleep again. Alright, Drago, see you around. Okay. Just beyond where I sat was the forest where Dom had disappeared. Watching the shadows, I half expected someone to be lingering there, watching and waiting for us to make a move. But there was no one. I assumed I was out there alone. I was out there alone for a few moments, I watched as Roswell stumbled from the back door, almost in a daze, towards me. Towards me, and then dropped to sit down.
He said nothing at first, staring instead at a spot on the ground, someplace far away. I wondered if he even knew where he was. I think I know. Why you're troubled. Huh? He didn't turn to look at me, instead seemingly more distracted by breathing and staying upright. Tomorrow, when Tom comes. Yes, for Benson. You heard the others talking? Thanatos. He told you? Again, it seemed as though Roswell was distracted by something, but the longer he sat there staring off, I wondered if he even knew where he was. Roswell? Dave, tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be bad. You know? Benson, if he doesn't die, everything. Roswell. Everything will stop. Everything has to stop. Everything. Roswell made to stand, but instead fell over limp, leaving me stunned after his rambling. I thought he was unconscious, but when I went to move him, I could feel him burning up. His face was scrunched up. He was breathing hard, but he seemed out cold otherwise. Hey, wake up! As I gently shook Roswell, I caught sight of Thanatos standing by the back door. He just passed out! Thanatos wandered closer, looking towards Roswell, before looking up at me once he had reached where he'd been sitting. Did he say anything? Just that tomorrow's going to be bad. That if Benson doesn't die, we'll... Yes. Ah. You know what he was talking about? Oh, yeah. Give me a sec. As he held Roswell, Thanatos climbed up... As I held was okay. Thanatos climbed up Roswell's front and lightly kicked his nose! Just kick him! Kick the lad! Punch him in the snoot! Yep, he's unconscious. I could have told you that. We need to get help, right? He was meant to be inside, but... No time for that. I got something more pressing. What's that? Oh, you know. No. Internally, I swore. I would have done so externally if I hadn't just been knocked out again, or at the very least, I was sure that that's what had happened, from the familiar stabbing pain in my head that preceded the darkness. The other giveaway, yes, was that I tried calling out, but no sound came out. Instead, I just had to wait and float there until I regained some level of consciousness. I was flat on my back, staring up at the sky. Rolling over, I looked around, but couldn't see Roswell or Thanatos. What are you doing? Blame the rat. Ty, I need a favor. What's the favor? Let me dick you. Slap me across the face, quickly. I'm not doing that. Fine. The moment I felt my hand impact my cheek, things went black again. It must have been another memory rather than that real thing, just as well, but I probably shouldn't slap myself so hard to check. So Roswell, I tried a loop where everyone was incapacitated. It didn't work out for some reason. Amazing. Once again, I found myself flat on my back, and immediately I started to raise my hand towards my face. What are you doing? About to slap myself again? Okay, you do that. At least I don't need to drag your ass back inside like Roswell had to be. I froze, my hand barely against my face. You just carried Roswell back inside? He's like 2 foot tall. It's fine. Sal did. And you were about to carry me back inside? Pretty much. I don't know how long you were both out here, cause no one saw you from the back door. Only really noticed when Roswell wasn't where we left him. Ah, okay. So, why are you unconscious?
Blame the rat.
Did he do something to you?
Yeah, he made me black out again, but I don't really know why.
Well, whatever he did was messing with Roswell, something fierce.
Oh no, Roswell was like that before I blacked out.
He was almost foaming at the mouth. The fuck happened?
Wait, no, go back. He was foaming at the mouth?
It looked like it, although he was thrashing about a bit next to you. Like he was having some sort of serious dream or something.
And I was just there?
You were groaning and frowning and junk, but nowhere near as bad as he was.
Where is he now? Where's Thanatos?
Roswell's back where we originally put him, I think. No idea on the rat. Didn't realize he came outside, but he moves pretty quick after I told him we're on board with drugging Benson.
Yeah. It seemed Roswell was on board with that too.
He say something.
Just that if Benson doesn't die tomorrow, then we're screwed. Or that it's going to be bad regardless.
Well, shit. But sorry to say that. We're just going to have to live with it.
Literally, I guess. Yeah. Assuming that it even means we get to.
I hate to say it, but yeah. We don't have a choice.
Ty finally offered out a hand and helped me up to my feet, stepping back as I dusted myself off. It's normal to just feel absolutely horrible after this, right?
I sure as hell don't feel great about it. But I'm not about to choose to die if I get to say.
But the cost of someone else's life? When they don't get to choose?
None of us like it, Dave. It's a shit situation we're in, but what choices do we have?
And then what? You're going to follow Dom into the forest?
Either me or Dean, yeah.
Please don't.
You don't trust me.
I don't want you to die.
I'm not gonna die.
You don't know that.
I promise.
I punch him. Okay. Imagine Dave trying to punch. Probably... I feel like he would be really bad at it. That would be like if I tried to punch someone. Who knows? Not hard, but not in Anywhere Tender. No, not in Anywhere Tender. Just enough and suddenly to catch him off guard. You can't promise that, you know. And no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. We might not get home. We might not survive. So just don't go promising that you'll be okay with if you leave. It'll hurt worse if you break it. He went to speak a couple of times before just backing down, taking a step back.
You two doing all right?
Dean looked between us, but we kept our eyes on the ground.
Did something happen?
Dean, don't go into the woods tomorrow.
What? Dave doesn't want either of us to go into the woods.
But if no one goes, how are we meant to get off the mountain?
It's not like he's going to show up, show us the way, while he's lugging Benson along, is he?
Well, no, but...
If we're in that much danger... He gets it. It's just a shit situation. That's one way of putting it. We also have additional problems.
Such as?
Roswell. He's in no state to move anywhere unless carried, and depending on the route we take, might be problematic.
Just throw him off the cliff, like, you know... Well, put a bed down there first. Like, throw a bed off the cliff first. And then throw Roswell. And he'll land on the bed and be fine. We can't just abandon him either.
I agree. Sal? Yes, Dean. I volunteer to stay with Roswell while the rest of us bail. Well, if you feel bad about leaving him behind while the rest of us try to get off the mountain, it means you're willing to stay, yeah.
We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
We won't know the exit immediately, so maybe Roswell's condition will improve. Or he'll just die and we'll finally be able to just move forward. I looked between each of them in turn, but they all had their heads hung, not wanting to offer anything in response. Right? I should go and check on Orlando and Haas. Last I heard, they were still worried about the decision. We have come to one, right? Yeah, Dean and I are just gonna talk about it while you fill in the others. Dave, go with Sal. Better you're not here for this. But it's alright, we'll fill you in later. I took Sal by the hand and we wandered back inside. As we made our way back inside, I kept looking back to the way we walked, wanting to know what Dean and Tyson were talking about. How are you two holding up? Orlando was in the middle of prepping a snack. Haas had a cup of tea, but his hands were shaking. Not great. I don't know how Thanatos expects us to choose. I wouldn't worry about choosing. Not anymore. What do you mean? Tyson has told Thanatos that we're going with his plan. Benson will be sedated and... Don't you dare finish that sentence! Someone has to chew Tyson out for deciding for the group. In his defense, Dean and I are also of the mind that we're without an actual choice. Seriously? You're just fine with us giving Benson over to your dad? To my dad. Whoops, sorry. If the alternative is dying for being in the way. I don't like this. What are we meant to do, Haas? I don't know. But this just feels wrong. When Roswell wakes up, I want to know what he thinks. He was conscious for a bit, but, don't. Just don't. So, what's that? So that's it then? We're all just... no discussion? No nothing? Aside from the morality of what we've decided, is there anything else to talk about? We're all not liking which way this is going to go, but beyond that. This sucks! I'm sorry to say it gets worse, Roswell. He's getting worse. And right now I wouldn't think he's in any condition to go anywhere. Carried, maybe, but... Depending on the way out, we might not be able to take him. I don't like that. I don't think anyone does. If someone has to say, it should be him. Who? Orlando fidgets briefly on the spot before sighing. Me. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to escape anything bad, at least for a while. I mean, in Route C, your papa just shoots you and calls it a day, so don't know how true that is. Wait, if we're using that as reasoning, then it should be me, surely. Why you? I feel like we're planning on bargaining like that. If we're planning on bargaining like that, Mensis is the least likely to want to kill me. If I have to play pretend for a bit in order for my friends have the best chance of survival, then I will. But you wouldn't be playing pretend, or at least Dad won't accept you just playing along. So where does that leave us? We looked between each other with Orlando rubbing his face and groaning. I'll stay. If someone absolutely needs to stay, I'll do it. Hopefully Roswell can just come with us then, so we don't have to, you know. I wandered over to the pantry to try to check for food with a frown. What are you looking for? Something sweet. I don't want to think about this anymore. You can't just go eating your problems away. Not that it's really relevant to what you're discussing, but I had a question about Thanatos. What was the question? Where did he disappear to after Tyson went to go deliver a decision? Oh, that. I don't know. You're better off asking Tyson. He's outside with Dean at the moment. Fair enough. I'll make the most of it and let him know how I feel about him speaking for all of us without checking. I was about to answer Haas's question, watching him walk away before the words left my mouth. Tyson was likely going to fill him in anyway, but if I'd just been quicker, I could have saved him some hassle. Dave, step away from the pantry. If you want something that bad, I'll make you something. Okay, Orlando. I want a 3-tiered cake. Each a different flavor of cake. I'm thinking, a nice vanilla or yellow cake, 1 chocolate and 1 red velvet. And I want flavored frosting between each layer. Maybe some fruit? Who knows? Maybe that would work, Yeah? Is that possible? I'll also settle for some churros. I don't know what I want. Maybe to just sleep the day away, so I didn't have to put up with anything between now and when it happens. Dave, you can't go sleeping either. You don't look at all tired, so maybe it's best to just try not to think about it. Orlando and I will make you some pumpkin bread. It's better to keep. Right, they still have all the pumpkin. Shit. I forgot about that. Huh. It's better to keep busy and fed rather than sit there and do nothing. I'll manage fine on my own. It was a slow process, slower than what I knew was normal. But it gave us something to do. Sal supervised, Orlando baked, and I cradled cup after cup of coffee until he was done. And Tyson and Dean resurfaced at some point, seemingly came to an agreement that they didn't want to share, but all that did was prompt me back to the pantry, and with it another round of baking fresh pumpkin bread. Haas returned after some time and said he'd had no luck finding Thanatos either, and Roswell seemed to be in just as much of a state as when Sal put him down. At some point, I found myself so full and felt sick, and with that came Tyson's arm around me. Soon enough, that also meant we had Haas's around both of us, but we didn't seem to mind all that much. When we split off, Tyson gave me one last hug before Haas took me away. I'd pivoted into tea at some point, and was regretting it from how tired I was getting. Haas, why am I so tired? Sal put Roswell down. About time, right? Probably because you've been working that caffeine out of your system for most of the afternoon. Yeah, I guess so. It's also likely because, well, you don't need to say it. I know. He wandered over to me and hugged me around the middle from behind, resting his chin on my shoulder. Anything I can do. I should be asking you the same thing. We're both worried about tomorrow, right? Right. Did talking to Tyson help at all? He's your brother. You should know what he's like. I've never had to take charge when it came to something like this, though. Never when someone else's life is at risk. I would hope not. Did you find out what he and Dean are planning, though? No, he was pretty quiet on all that. Probably knows that I'd be able to tell if he was lying anyway. I hope he'll be okay. All things considered, if he goes and screws something up, you have first dibs on chewing him out. But I'm absolutely claiming the spot right here. Even if it means we'll be in danger? When he gets out of this, I'm going to have some choice words for him, is all. When, and not if? Gotta aim for the better of the two, Dave. If we don't...
Now, Haas. Haas. I must inform you. If is always better. Because the effect will still chain no matter what. You won't miss the effect like the word when does. You know, when just falls off if it's not the last effect to resolve in the chain. So, you want an if effect so it chains properly and it doesn't whiff. This is why when effects are bad in Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on! He sighed and awkwardly walked us over to the bed, letting me go and sitting me down. If we don't... Let's just say something... Let's just say thinking things. Will turn out bad. Might make it happen. If we give up on hope, then... what's left outside of being consumed by despair? You're starting to sound like Orlando. Or Roswell, maybe. Why's that? I don't know. It just reminds me of something that they mentioned once about a game that they were talking about. Mind if I go first with my shower? I could use some freshening up before bed. Why not together? I guess that's fine. Did you need me to brush your mane when you get out? I don't think you're at that level yet, Dave, but I'm more than happy to brush you down before we settle in. And that's what we did. I tagged out with Haas when he was done, and once I was dry and fluffy, he treated me to a brushing. There was an air of sadness in it. Or maybe not sadness, but we were distracted with our thoughts and choosing to remain quiet. He didn't even ask if I wanted any balm, but managed to scrounge something together. Then it was just laying there in silence, chest to chest, or at least until he cuddled under my chin and used my chest as a pillow. I must have fallen asleep first, as the last thing I remembered was him mumbling everything was going to be okay. Hopefully, he was right. Okay. In my dream, I was haunted with what was to come once I finally woken up. Actually, I think I might end the stream here because I'm getting tired of the reading. That's 2 hours of straight reading. So we'll do the final day in a wait, did I save correctly? Yeah, the final day in another stream, I think. Cause that's 2 hours. My mouth is parched. You know how it is. Anyway, I'll see you around, everyone.